Hi everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and it's that time of the month to take a look at the latest offering from the Transformers Collectors Club figure subscription service. As we know, this year's FSS is a combiner called Thunder Mayhem, and here's the newest limb, the arm Spinister. Now this is a repaint and retool, I do believe they're using a new head, of the Alpha Bravo mold. And I have to tell you, this is probably the best use of the mold thus far. This is also an update to the classic G1 Double Target Master, Spinister. As you can see, there's a lot going on with the mold, not just the colors, as I basically have it all decked out with the weapons. It comes with the two Target Masters, Singe and Shroot. Now, to be honest, I can't tell you which one's which, but on the original toy, Singe was the black Target Master, while Shroot is a rename of Windsweeper, which was the lavender one. And I'll bet you anything I just got that reversed. Kind of interesting that on the original Target Master, both figures were double-barreled, where the Transformers Collectors Club has decided to continue with the pattern of using both Target Masters from Scoop. So instead of giving us two of the double barrel model, they gave us one of each. The figure also comes with the mini assault rifle that's come with every version of this mold, as well as the limb weapon module. This is the best layout I could find. Basically, you have the Target Masters pegged up top here. Now, I should mention, this is all the figure's painted, so the ports back here, depending on how thick the paint is, might be a few maybe a few centimeters off in diameter, and you might have a hard time pegging it in. For example, Singe right here, and I'm going to be basically going by the G1 names since that's the only ones I can tell the difference between. Singe could not really peg in well on this side without popping off the handle. I do want to mention that the joints on the Target Masters, the handle is very tight, and like I said, this version of the Alpha Bravo mode is the best I've had. All the joints are very tight. And then, of course, you have the weapon module pegged in on the bottom here, in that hole specifically designed for it. And I have the gun pegged into one of the robot's hands. You can peg, in vehicle mode, the Target Masters into the robot hands, but you'll have to unpeg them from the side of the body, and the blades can still spin even with the Target Masters plugged in. Go ahead and remove them right now. They'll come out very easily. They don't peg in that tightly into the hole up top. We'll take a look at them in a moment, and I'll just remove the gun here. I'll leave the weapon module plugged in just so we can have it a little elevated, get a better look at the bottom. Nice update. The classic colors are here. Now what's interesting is they refer to this right here as a four-pronged taser. That really doesn't look like a four-pronged taser, but if you remember, the bonus 6 figure for the figure subscription service is Armor Hide, and that toy is coming with a plethora of weapons, including Rook's little tong tool thing, which may be the taser they're talking about. Don't know for sure, but it's worth a hunch. So, very nice, very bright colors. This is, the original Spinister came out in the late 80s, early 90s, when bright and neon was the in thing. And we do know that Hasbro does like using bright colors to help market toys. Personally, I think the Collectors Club is using these colors just to match the original figure. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead into transformation. Might as well just go ahead and remove that limb module now. First thing you want to do is go ahead and lift up the rotor blade. You want to make it 90 degrees from the body. Don't worry, we'll fold it up in a minute. This is just to work on the legs. Go ahead, unpeg the arms, bring them out to the side. Then when you want to come down here is the front of the helicopter and flip up the panels here. These will form the feet. And then unpeg the sides here of the cockpit. They, of course, will peg into the sides here, on the sides of the, what will be the sides of the leg. I can still remember people thinking this whole mold was going to get retooled into blast off. Go ahead, open the front canopy, and then sometimes, you know, like on all versions of this mold, the back of the legs tend to really peg in well to the fuselage. So just go ahead and push up on those little tabs there, and that'll help loosen it up. Go ahead, swivel it out, just like with every other aerial bot. And then comes the little part there where you want to peg the back of the legs in and rotate this around. And what's interesting is this torso now will actually click into place, which is kind of interesting. And go ahead, split the legs. Ball joints are very tight here. That's great to know for robot mode. You can go ahead, bring the arms down to the side. Next, what you want to do, bring this back panel down slightly. Fold up the rotor blades. Go ahead, actually, don't fold the rotor blades up quite yet. Go ahead, pull down this backpack. Again, you might want to just push on the front there, nice and tight. This will, of course, then double accordion, well, double hinge, I should say. And I do want to mention that little secondary hinge is very tight, so, but it does go. And then you want to just peg it here into the back. Then what you go ahead and do, fold up these rotor blades and bring up that panel. I like to tuck them in between those two tail fins. Go ahead, rotate the fin out to the side. Again, I just choose to do that for the sake of transformation being a little different. And here we have Spinister in its robot mode. Obviously, if you're familiar with Alpha Bravo, you're familiar with this figure. And robot mode kind of retains most of the colors. A little more pink and lavender from the exposed bits. You do get the lavender more on the chest. A little bit of silver. But let's take a look at the head. Like I said, I do believe this is the same head that was used for Vortex. I don't think it's the original Alpha Bravo head, although I have to be honest, it's been a while since I've handled Alpha Bravo, and I don't have Vortex yet. I'm waiting on the Unite Warriors gift set, but that is very cool. It's actually kind of interesting if this uses the same head as Vortex. As many of you might remember, Spinister has a little bit of a history with the Transformers Collectors Club, in that at a convention a few years ago, it was actually an exclusive. What they did is they took the Japanese version of movie Vortex, who is a repaint with a new head of Hunt for the Decepticons Tomahawk, and then just repainted into these colors for Spinister. Alright, like I mentioned, all the joints are nice and tight, especially here in the elbows. That's great for supporting the weight of the Target Masters, which we'll go ahead and bring in right now. They peg in quite nicely into the hands, which, you know, this guy is actually heavily armored. I mean, you can just, you know, he's got the guns, he's got, you know, the missiles on the wrist, so you have a lot of display options. And of course, because of that extra port on top, if you can peg the gun in here, you'd have to flip down the arms, but I'll show you that at the end. So you do have, like I said, a lot of options in terms of display with the accessories for Spinister. Okay, so Spinister will be the arm of Thunder Mayhem. So to transform into arm mode is very easy to do from robot mode. First step, what you want to do is peg the legs together. Snap them together just like that. Rotate the head around. Then go ahead and rotate it down into the chest just like so. Rotate the arms out ever so slightly. Rotate the waist, so basically you'll have the hips and the back of the knees bending forward. That'll be your double elbow. And then bring the arms back down to peg them into the side. Now some people we'll just bend the elbows backward to get them out of the way. I always tend to err on having the arm in the most secure position, so that's why I like to peg them into place. And with this, you can just use that one elbow, and it gives you roughly a 90-degree bend. Let's put the joint down here. Go ahead, bring in the weapon limb module, flip out the fist, rotate it down, and go ahead, plug it into the bottom there. God, that was a little tight. And here you have the arm of what will be Thunder Mayhem. It looks really cool. You can, of course, rotate the tail fin out, however you like to have it. The preference is up to you. I'm just going to demonstrate on one of the Target Masters how to transform it into robot mode. Basically what you want to do is just split the arms here, rotate the barrel down along the back, and then rotate that grip up and around so it tucks away. The arms are articulated. Here's a little close-up look at the figure. Like I said, these are repaints of the Target Masters that came with Scoop. The original G1 figures were a little more original. Now to return it to the weapon mode, bring the arms down to a neutral position. Go ahead, flip the barrel up. Peg them together. There's like two posts. There's a post here in the shoulders and at the wrist. Flip the grip down, and then, since these are double Target Masters, you can do the super weapon mode. Depending on which one is going to be on the bottom, we're going to use cinch here. You want to go ahead, unpeg the arms so they're out at the side. I should mention cinch's arms do peg in a little tightly. Ugh, hooked on phonics works for me. And there's a little tab in the barrel that will peg into the back of the waist of the other Target Master. And there you go. And you do have options as to how you want to have this, where the figure wants to grip it. If you're going to go for that second grip, I do recommend flipping up the handle. For this group, I tend to use that grip that's a little further back. And of course, if you want to go ahead and attach the basic weapon, go ahead and unpeg the arms up here on top, and just slide it in just like so, and you have a giant cannon of doom. Unfortunately, the weapon module doesn't have the hole here that you can just peg it on. Oh, wait a minute, hold on a second, let me try something here. We're going to try something on the fly. Actually, wait. You know what? Can I just see this? Yeah, no, that's not going to work. That's not enough space. I was going to try to see if I could figure out a way to plug the limb module on. So, I've always been a fan of the double Target Masters, and I like how, especially like how the weapons combine. Spinister is my favorite figure thus far of the figure subscription service Thunder Mayhem Combiner. The joints are nice and tight. The transformation, of course, is fun. All around, it's a great figure. The double Target Masters really add a lot to it. And it's interesting because the Alpha Bravo mold is one of the most used molds from Combiner Wars. But, and the joints have always been tight. This is just the best they've been. And, as I said, the double Target Masters add a lot to it. Personally, I think on the secondary market, Spinister is going to be the hardest to find and command the highest price. It's your old pal Chuck for Spinister, Singe, and Windsweeper. We will see you next time.